Coming to you live from the JRE Tobacco Aladino Mobile Studios, it's the Cigar Pulpit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm the Bishop of the Burn, Nick, and today I will be joined by my dad, Jim, as we discuss some current events. And of course, you know, my dad is no shortage of opinion, so sit back and hear the Curmudgejim's thoughts on some of the things going on in the world. But before we get into that, I do want to extend some thoughts and well wishes to Mike Brinker, who has he's kind of had a little bit of a tough road here lately, a little bit of a health thing going on, and he's kind of had a rough go of it, and I just want to publicly extend well wishes and kind of ask you all to have Mike in your thoughts, because like I said, you know, he's just had some stuff happening lately, and it hasn't been a good time. You know, visits to the hospital, things of that nature. And anyway, I don't want to get super personal about it, because you know it's not my business to be sharing like that. But I just wanted to tell Mike that we're thinking about him, and I hope he's doing well. So anyway, on with the conversation with my dad. See you on the other side. And I'm joined today by my dad, Jim. How you doing?
I'm good. Everybody's probably wondering, I hope that bastard never comes back, but here I am.
I get requests for you.
No, you don't.
I do. People like you. They do.
Yeah. And I'm sitting inside today because it's 39 degrees out and cloudy.
That's gross.
And I sat out the other day and enjoyed a cigar. It was like 60 degrees and odd, but I'm not going to sit out today and freeze for this. If I were moving, I'd be fine, but sitting still for an hour and a half or whatever,
I get it. It's 52.
You would see me with icicles on my mustache, just slowly like shrinking down in the chair. So yeah,
well,
welcome to my office, my den, my whatever.
Well, it's 52 here, and I only have one heater going.
We're supposed to be up in the mid to high 60s by next Tuesday or Wednesday.
There you go.
I know. Yeah, it trends upward from here on. So if we would have delayed this a handful of days, I'd be outside having a cigar with you. But inside, I will be having my coffee and we'll chat.
Well, I have a cigar that's appropriate for today.
Okay.
And I have one in the house waiting for you for the next time I see you. But today's cigar that I will be smoking is I don't know if people can see that. It's the Nick Jim PBE Toro 6x54. It has an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, Ecuadorian binder, and filler from Nicaragua and Peru. The Nick Jim PBE is a collaborative effort between Nick Cyrus of LH Premium Cigars and Island Jim Robinson of Pittsburgh-based retailer Leaf and Bean. This cigar features notes of creamy almonds, oak, and slight toffee sweetness. So I have the Nick Jim for today.
Isn't that from that place down in St. Augustine or somewhere, like Island Jim or something?
Leaf and Bean. Yeah, Island Jim owns Leaf and Bean, and he's got two locations. He's got the one in Pittsburgh, and then he's got the one down in St. Augustine. And while I've never been to the Pittsburgh one, I hear that it is dramatically different than the St. Augustine one. Apparently, the Pittsburgh one is like just an absolute circus, shit everywhere, just like it's just crazy. And then you go to the Leaf and Bean in St. Augustine, and I mean, it's pretty chill, pretty basic.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of looks like it used to be an old Mexican restaurant, to be honest, but I don't know. But it's a big space. Parking sucks, but you know, such is life.
The chances are in St. Augustine, they're not well known for their Mexican heritage. It's probably more, I don't know, Spanish perhaps.
Well, maybe. It's got the archway and the courtyard,
Yeah,
so maybe, perhaps you're right. So, but it just kind of. Anyway, well, it's time for me to cut the cigar, and the official cutting is brought to you by 2guyscigars.com. That's the number 2guyscigars.com. Two Guys have been around for 40 years, and they are the trusted name in the cigar industry. Everybody knows Two Guys, but if you don't, please give them a try. You won't be sorry. Family owned and operated, 2guyscigars.com does the very best to provide a great selection, fair prices, and excellent customer service. So head on over to 2guyscigars.com for your next cigar purchase. Tell them that the Cigar Pulpit sent you. And remember, that's the number 2guyscigars.com. And I'm going to go ahead and give my cigar a cut. So, all righty. Well, while I do this, how you been?
I've been cold.
Yeah, I know,
This
right?
is this winter has really sucked. I mean, aside from having 29 inches of snow outside,
Okay,
which I
yeah.
know Sean up in the UP is laughing at, go, well,
I
that's
mean,
just an afternoon for us.
here's the thing. He
It's
brought
been
that on him. He
sub-zero. This has
he
been
brought
freaking
that on
cold.
himself.
Well, yeah, who lives there? And
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
I think they
yeah.
get like 500 inches a year, so this is just an afternoon flurry to him. But no, we're ahead this year in snowfall, but we're also like, my God, the temperatures have just been sub-zero. And this is the first week in like a while since we've been above freezing. So
Well, the
this
fact that
is
we started
all right.
off with snow at Thanksgiving,
Yeah,
that's bullshit.
that was a bad start.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. So no, we're supposed to trend temperaturally. We're supposed to trend upwards over the next week or thereabout, and hopefully we're getting toward the end of February, and then we get into storms and tornadoes and shit like that. But
well, that's exactly it. That's what people that don't live in the Midwest don't realize is that we
right,
transition from winter right into hunker down. You're about to get blown away to Oz season.
storm
So,
season. So that's
yeah.
right. So
So,
I mean, even that stupid groundhog, which is probably more accurate than the weather guys, but even that rodent said we got 6 more months of winter. So
well, I saw,
somebody needs to go to Puxatawny and go groundhog hunting, and
you know,
you
well,
know,
no,
let's reforecast
all
this.
right. So your statement just there is very interesting considering what was just about to say, which is I have seen so many threats of violence against Phil this year. And then there's now, you're
Oh, they
like,
booed him.
it's like for some
They
reason
booed
they're
that
coming
poor
at,
little guy this year. I watched that.
oh, man.
I
Oh,
know.
mm,
Yeah, it is what it is. So anyway,
poor Phil. So,
so are you doing the advertisement for your greatest commercial you've ever heard, or are we moving on?
well, I lit while
Oh,
you
you
were
already
doing
did. All
that.
right.
So yeah. So I
All
mean,
right. Well,
I
I almost, okay, let's get to the crux of the matter then. I
okay.
almost didn't come on today
Why is that?
because there's this thing about parents of celebrities being kidnapped.
Oh shit.
You're a cigar celebrity in your own little realm of
Oh, stop it.
popularity. I've met some of your listeners.
Yeah. That's true. Some of my listeners are the ones.
Yeah,
If anybody's gonna kidnap anybody, some of my there's a handful of people in my audience that I could say like, would I be surprised if they had somebody tied up in their basement? No, I wouldn't.
at all.
Um, doesn't mean they're bad people. It just means that they have somebody tied up in
Yeah,
their
we're not going
basement.
to name names, but we
No,
know.
I
Yeah.
mean, it puts the lotion on
Uh,
its skin or it gets the hose again. That
that's
kind of
right.
thing.
That's
So
right.
yeah.
Anyway, so no, we were chatting before we started. It's like, what do you want to talk about? It's like, yeah, there's some current event stuff going on.
Indeed.
I mean, you got to be blind and deaf to miss the news lately.
There's been some
And
weird stuff.
I have a tendency. I look at things. Yeah, I look at things a little different. I look at reasons. I look at causes. If something happens, you got to go looking to go, well, why? Not everything is obvious. And this whole thing, God love this woman. I feel so bad for her. I mean, when you reach a certain age, people shouldn't screw with you anymore. It's like once you hit 70, let's say 70, it's like leave them alone.
Yeah.
They've been around. They have gone through more sewer shit than you're ever going to wade through, probably. And it's like leave the old people alone. And the last thing this woman needed was to have some jackwad come to the front door in the middle of the night and grab her.
I assume so.
It's repulsive.
So you're talking about Nancy Guthrie, the
Nancy
Samantha Guthrie's
Guthrie.
mom. Okay.
Nancy Guthrie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care if I do care. Shoplifting is stealing. Stealing a car is worse. I mean, there's levels. There's
Yeah.
always a degree of worseness. All right.
Okay.
Shoplifting a candy bar is bad. All right. Stealing a car is worse.
Yeah.
Stealing a human.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't steal people. I mean, that's a violation of, I don't know what, 4 or 5 commandments right there. Thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not whatever. I mean, that's the A train to hell. You
Hmm.
don't steal people. And we'll talk about another one towards that in a little bit
Yeah.
later here, because I've got
Yeah.
opinions on this other issue too going on. But I look at this, I'm going, all right, this poor woman has been stolen. All right, and they're all looking for whoever did it.
Yeah.
And you step back and go, well, how did that happen? All right. Who in their right mind lets their 84-year-old mother, who has a pacemaker, who
Mhm.
has apparently a medical condition that requires daily meds or she's going to die, so to speak, who has ambulatory issues, who can't walk more than 50 some odd feet, who lets an 84-year-old woman with those conditions live by herself in a 3,100 square foot home in the middle of some place where it's pitch black, dark, and nobody around? Who the hell does that?
It's a
Who would
valid point.
who would
And
put your old mother in that situation of risk?
well,
And okay, and then here's the other thing: you have her on television, and you go, "This is my mom." And well, okay, put a bullseye on this poor woman. If she wouldn't have done that, half the people in this country wouldn't even know who this person is.
yeah.
If I go missing tomorrow, Nicholas, nobody's going to give a shit. FBI is not going to come looking for me, and they're going to go, "Well, hell, he's got some stupid podcast, and God knows who will listen to it, whatever." But but who does that to their 80-something-year-old parent? I mean, this woman
Yeah.
should have been living in some sort of a planned community around a bunch of people with medical care and people tending to her every need.
Yeah.
Am I
No,
wrong?
no, you're not wrong. And it actually reminds me of another case, one that also was big and prominent, which, if you think about it, resulted tragically. Not, I mean, Nancy Guthrie thing. I mean, I guess we don't know yet, but let's be real. Every day that goes by is not great. But I was thinking about Gene Hackman and his wife.
There
There's
you
another
go.
situation. The kids completely like let that go. You know, Gene Hackman's wife dies of the hantavirus, which is kind of fucked, just in and of
And I know
itself.
that's existing out there. I mean,
Like,
anytime you've got wild mice and rats, hantavirus is viable.
but
So
it's
it exists.
yeah,
But yeah, it's
yeah,
odd.
exactly. It's odd.
Right.
Here's poor Gene Hackman. His wife is dead. The dog is in the kennel, and that's why it dies because
And
he
that's
doesn't
sad.
he doesn't know what the hell's going on, and he's shuffling around this house for like a week
Right.
without his meds and everything like that, and ends up dying, from whatever, because I think it was heart and everything like that.
Yeah, his heart.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like how is this guy allowed to be shuffling around for a week inside this house with his dead wife laying there in the bathroom? It's like why is nobody checking on these people? Why are and to your point, why are they being allowed to and I guess they have the right, but like why are they living out in these remote situations and not being checked on, you know?
Just because they have a right doesn't remove the responsibility from their family member.
Well, that's
And
exactly
and therein
and
lies the point. Nobody wants to be responsible for anything anymore. And I'm on
yeah.
a rant here. But yeah, they should not have been. Yeah, at best, the guy that found them was what, their landscaper or their
Something
person who
like
tends
that.
to the
Yeah.
property or some crap.
Yeah.
Who was at Mama Guthrie's place in the last month? I mean, she had her roof was recently redone because my God, it's brilliant white. It's been retreated.
Uh-huh.
But it's like, okay, mom lives by herself. She's in this house. She's in $1 million mansion. And you have people coming through here, and you have no idea who they know. Or worse than that, it's not just who they are, but who do they know that they go back and they say, hey, guess where I was today? You
Yeah.
don't know who that secondary person is.
Yeah.
I hate to sound this way, but when we have guys coming here working, I hide my shit.
Well,
I
yeah,
make sure
because
there's nothing visible. And man, I don't leave this house and I'm always within eyeshot.
mm-hmm.
It's like I don't converse with them. I'm friendly, but it's not, you don't need to know my life
Yeah.
because I have no clue who the guys are that do, refloorings or whatever it is. And that's the thing is you got to look at this woman and you go, who's been through her place in the last 30 days?
True.
And not just who it is, but
And
their
then
brother, their relatives, their cousins, or whoever else.
yeah, who did they tell? Oh man, there's this old woman living by herself out in the hills and blah 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 and
Right.
all that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then here's the other thing that just absolutely annoyed the hell out of me. Her daughter,
Okay.
Annie, Annie is her name. Had her
Mhm.
over for dinner that night.
Yeah.
She lives 7 miles away from mom,
Okay.
but mom had to take an Uber to her daughter's house for dinner. Really? You
Yeah.
can't
Just get in
drive
the car
seven
and drive.
friggin' miles,
Yeah.
15 minutes to pick your 84-year-old mother up who can barely walk, to
hmm
have her come over for dinner. You cannot drive your own mother. You have to have her take an Uber to your friggin' house. Right?
That's a valid
Eh,
point. It's a valid point.
And I just, the more the story's unfolding and the more details, the more it's like, dear Guthrie kids, you, you idiots, you did this. You may not have caused her to be kidnapped, but you certainly didn't do anything to help her and prevent it.
Yeah.
She should never have been in the situation that resulted in, unfortunately, what's going on today. And it's just, it's heartbreaking for her. And I'm irritated like all hell against this Savannah Guthrie and the family. It's like, you don't do this to your loved parent. Oh, mommy, we miss you. Well, you should have worried more about mommy a year and a half or 2 years ago when she was struggling walking around her house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pick her up, drive her, pick her up, take her to dinner, bring her home, whatever. It's just, that's the stuff that just, I shake my head every time it comes on the news and they go, oh, you shouldn't be having to do that.
Yeah.
This is a completely unnecessary sad situation. And nobody is calling Savannah Guthrie out
No. Well,
because
no.
she's America's
Yeah.
love child or what the hell ever. I don't know. They all think she's the greatest person in the morning or whatever. But
Well, I think it's, it's kind of one of those like, when's the appropriate time to pound, to
when
point
do we get to
to,
kick her?
yeah, when do we get to say like, this probably should have been avoided because XYZ,
Right.
that when do you say I told you so kind of thing. Although I don't know if anybody told her, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, but no, that the valid points. I mean,
Yeah. So right now you lost about 15% of your listenership, and
I don't know about that. So.
you go, well, that guy's an old bastard. And that's it. Anyway, but moving on.
Moving on.
Um, moving on to the other one. All right. Let's talk about responsibility.
That's all
Um,
right, because I got some things to talk about with this one. The Guthrie one,
this
I will freely admit I have not kept up on the Guthrie case because, quite frankly, up until how do I
you're
put that?
busy. You
Well,
have a life and you have a job and you're busy.
but here's the thing. How do I put this? Without sounding completely callous and cold, because I don't want anything bad to happen to anybody, but at the same time, I don't care.
Doesn't
It's
change
like,
my life.
right? It's like this is oh, she's on the
Yep.
Today Show, so we have to give a shit. But like,
Uh,
I don't care. Like, you and I were trying to before we hit. It's like people go missing all the fucking time.
yeah.
And we don't get round the clock coverage from national news services about that. But for some reason, but because this woman is the mom of Savannah Guthrie, now all of a sudden, everybody gives a shit. And it's like you know, I don't care. It
Here,
sounds callous, but
here
it's
locally, there's a 17-year-old girl who was recently found murdered. She went missing for a month and they found her body in Ohio. A 36-year-old guy met her online on a gaming site
yeah,
and apparently came over and or she went to Ohio. I don't even listen to the story. And anyway, they found her body. It's sad. And they're having a big memorial today in her honor, whatever.
and
And everybody's
nobody
got,
else except from your area has heard anything about it.
well, everybody's got pink ribbons hanging around here. And I-Town Church is having a memory of celebration of life for this young lady.
Okay,
And now we have a new alert system because she wasn't old enough for a silver alert and she was too old for an amber alert. So she fell in a gap of alertness, I guess. And now we have a whole new legislative thing going forward with Haley's alert, I guess is what it's going to be called. I don't
okay,
know, but it's kind of like she was only 17,
yeah,
still not a responsible adult on her own.
yeah,
Hey, mom and dad, where the hell are you?
yeah, yeah. Like,
And I know that. I respect the fact that, well, you got to respect the privacy of the child, whatever it is. But that's another shouldn't have happened.
yeah,
It's like your mom and dad. She's not out of the house yet. It's your responsibility, but they're not accountable.
well,
And the whole community is embracing this poor young lady, and I feel bad for her. And the guy that killed her should be hung in the county court right downtown.
yeah,
Um, but it's just that's another local one. It's like, this kid went missing for a month and no one cared. And now all of a sudden they find her body and everybody's panicked and they're all upset
yeah.
about it. It's like, well, where the hell were you a month ago?
Well, it's
It
like
just,
around here. I don't know if you remember way back, I don't think they do it anymore, but I remember it growing up. The 10 o'clock news when it was started, it'd be like, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?
they just started that here about 5 months ago.
For
No, small
fuck's sake. I
starting.
mean,
Yeah.
it's like,
No, no.
and it brings me to the point that it's like, if you have to ask, how fucked up is that? It's
Well, the
my
ones
car,
who should answer the question are the ones sitting there going, no, I don't. I don't
right?
care.
Right? And like my car, you know, it's a 2022, and it has a sensor to where if there's weight in the back seats. So let's say I pick up
Right. It,
Max
it gives
and
you
he's
that
in the back
alert.
seat. When I turn off the car, it will
Right.
give me an alert reminding me to check the back seat so that I don't leave my child in the car or something like that. I mean, how distracted are we as a people that you have to like, but I evidently, I mean, that
Well,
must
no.
be the way with people.
Have you ever stopped to really consider how we rely on technology to overcome the laziness of of the people?
Yeah, huh.
And it's sad. We have to have technology because people just aren't as on it as they used to be. They're not and there I am again. They're not responsible.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
All right, here we go. Let's go to the big one. So here's this young lady locally who was missing for several weeks, and she
Mm-hmm.
shows up, finds her dead. All right. Hey, mom and dad, where the hell were you? Hey, mom and dad, why are you letting your daughters get on a private jet and fly all the way to some friggin' island in the Caribbean?
Oh.
Hey, mom and dad, where are you? Where are the parents of all of these victims of
Uh-huh.
Epstein? Okay. You have over 500, as I've read and heard, over 500 some odd victims, but only 30 have stepped forward. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Hey, moms and dads, where's your daughter?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, you haven't, I read this thing the other day. Some guy, it's in those documents that got dumped. Some guy got an 11-year-old girl pregnant. Okay. A, you sick son of a bitch. But B, hey, mom and dad, where's your 11-year-old daughter?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the thing that really annoys the daylight side of me. I mean, we're talking grossness here. We're talking
Yeah.
infanticide.
I
We're
mean,
talking cannibalism. We're talking
oh.
sex
Well,
trafficking.
and that's exactly what I
And,
was about to
and,
say.
and
Some of this may not be necessarily on the parents because they may have reported their child missing. They may be wondering where their child is, and in reality, their child's been trafficked down to the
I
Virgin
don't know,
Islands
are you
for
hearing about those?
what?
Have you heard about those?
Well, no, but come on, how many kids go missing on the daily that we don't that the
I don't know.
nation doesn't hear about?
Well,
You know?
you got a point. Okay, there's probably some, but over
Yeah,
500 victims, and some of them were involved in getting other girls to come down there. So they're
yeah.
not all victims.
Mm,
They're whatever the word is. I'm skipping
hmm.
my mind right now. But this comes into this whole thing. It's like, are these the same people who put their little girl and dress them up and put makeup on them and walk them across the stage in these little kid beauty contests that got John Benet Ramsey killed?
Have you not
It's like,
seen the connections between Epstein and John Benet Ramsey that they're talking about?
You sick little monkeys doing that to your kids. Now that
They're
Madeline McCann, that girl in Portugal, that Madeline
yeah,
McCann is tied to
yeah,
this somehow.
yeah,
There's an orphanage in Portugal where some of these guys were flying to this orphanage just to get little girls.
yeah.
I,
Well,
I-
and some of this, like I said, you may not even know about because it's come out that Life Touch, the company that like, oh,
right?
I don't know, every fucking school in the United States uses for school photos,
Was owned by Shutterfly.
and the
Shutterfly,
and
which is that thing everybody uses, and that's owned by a global, what is it, global something or other capital management
uh-huh.
company, was the guy who was best friends with. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's this database of all these little children.
And it's then the guy that's in charge of that's tied to Epstein. So, all my now granted, my kid is just young enough to where Epstein would have
Right,
already
but
probably
still.
hung himself by the time his pictures were taken. But does that mean that like my pictures were in catalogs that were going to like, freaking Epstein Island back in the day? I don't know.
Don't flatter yourself.
I mean, I
I'm
didn't get
kidding. I
taken.
know. No, no, no. You don't know. And here, and it's like I said, it all ties to these little girl beauty contests. And oh, you're cute. You could be a model. Hey, mom and dad, be responsible. Say no. Get the hell away from my kid.
Yeah.
Instead, they go, oh, my kid's going to be a model, and they go trotting off, and shit happens. And
Yeah.
it's interesting to me. A while back, you and I, we were talking, and I don't know if you remember this one. Well, we got on the topic, and everybody's going to listen to this and go, Jesus, you took or something. We got on the topic of pedophilia and how someday it'll probably be legalized.
Oh, no,
Boy,
that's
are we close, huh?
well, I mean, it was one of those things, and I'm not, admittedly, they were not wanting it to be lumped in to their credit. But during the big push for LGBT rights, not
Right.
recently, but a while back, um, there was a group that was going by the term MAPS, and that was minor attracted person, and that
Oh,
was that was their term, and they wanted to be part of the LGBT push. They were basically saying, I'm genetically born this way, attracted to minors, and I shouldn't be penalized for this. And to their credit, like I said, the LGBT crowd was like, yeah, too far, you know.
yeah,
But don't think for a moment that that's
yeah.
not, out there and
But
being
try it today, huh?
justified. Yeah, right.
Because here's the sick part: the people who can make that happen are the ones who are in the Epstein files.
Yeah,
They keep saying, "Why wasn't this all disclosed before?" Well, the question you have to ask is, why is it just being disclosed now?
yeah.
Why didn't Obama, who had all these file access, why didn't Biden put it all out? I'll
Well,
tell you why, because they're all connected. I
and
didn't say
that's the thing.
Obama did it, and
And
I didn't say Joe Biden did it, but every influential person globally, there's guys in the UK, they're saying that the Prime Minister of the UK could
yeah,
be stepping out of his role now because of somebody he assigned, knowing full well this guy was involved with Epstein.
there's three
So,
people in Trump's current cabinet that have been connected to
right?
this. That Pam Bondi, just before
Hollywood.
Congress the other day, was asked about. Did you guys talk to them? And no, she didn't.
Oh, but
But like,
Epstein donated more money to the Democrats than he ever did to the Republicans. And Epstein's the one who was behind the scenes pushing for impeachment against Trump.
yeah,
Why the Democrats didn't put it out is because they're dirty in this. And there are
I,
people in every country. The whoever it is in Sweden has apologized for being involved with this. And you've got
uh,
everything from entertainment to finance to politics. And that's why it was never disclosed, is because this is that thing that could really have such an impact on the world
yeah,
and cultures and societies and the economics of countries could shatter. And
yeah.
it's not a bad thing to have that happen, quite frankly, because these are the
Well,
bastards who are flying around doing stuff.
um, I would say that if nothing else, we have learned through these data dumps, which is something I've been saying for a while, and this just kind of verifies and proves it in this way, which is, we don't have, everybody says, oh, we've got a two-party system in the United States. No, we have a uniparty. We have one party. And they have their issues that they put out there in order to divide us and put us into these camps so that we're sniping at one another, which keeps us
Right.
distracted from other bullshit they're up to. But in reality, it's one group of people that are all doing what they want to do, and they keep us docile and stupid by fighting amongst each other over, this right or this whatever, and whatever. It's all bullshit. But like, they're all working together, all doing the same
Yep.
shit, and it's all to further their agenda. Um, it's yeah, it's sick. And I don't want I don't want, I mean, I do want prosecutions, but what I don't want is, I don't want a bunch of people, oh, I'm gonna get 60 months in jail and all that. I want public hangings. I want the
I want
gallows.
death sentence.
I want the gallows put right
Yep.
there in front of the fucking Congress building,
Yeah.
and I want daily televised executions. I want to see every one of these people go into the gallows, and I want to see it all come down. Pam Bondi said, "Oh, we can't prosecute everybody in the Epstein files because the whole system would collapse. Collapse it, burn it all to the damn ground. This is done. I'm over
You
all of
imagine?
it."
Can you imagine going through 3 million documents and scratching out names?
Hmm.
And some are conspirators, and some are victims, and some are
Yeah.
this or something. It's like that's not an easy task. And yeah, here's the one for you. And I know you probably didn't follow. Was it 2, 3 weeks ago? Davos. Are you familiar with Davos? The Davos meeting.
No. No.
All right, Davos, Switzerland. Every year, Private jets swarm into Davos, Switzerland. It's a little tiny nothing village in the middle of the Alps. And the big influential guys show up at Davos, politicians. Trump went and spoke this year and kind of rattled the cages. Um, Talked about the UN and talked about all kinds of shit. Macron from France went.
Hmm.
And you've got, John Kerry has gone for years. They talk about climate change and they talk about this
Yeah.
and Bill Gates goes every year and celebrities and politicians are all there. Um, it's the number one hooker event of the year. Hookers from all around the world
Of course.
fly into Davos for that week,
Yeah.
which tells you everything you need to know, I guess. But um, you imagine if they expose all the names from Epstein, the Davos meeting would never happen again because those are all the bastards that are doing all this stuff.
Well, and here's the thing, and this is the other thing that I think it's important to not get too hung up on is that everybody wants to put all the blame on Epstein. And I'm not saying that he's like, I mean, he's obviously not blameless, but for anybody who thinks, oh, he's the puppet master, he's the top, bullshit. There is no way that he was the ringleader of all this. So who's pulling his strings? Who's manipulating? Who was he an agent of? Who is he working for? Because this goes higher than one random guy, you know?
I think he started it all, but he got to the point where there were guys emailing him requesting very specific little things.
I'm not saying he
And
wasn't
and
the fixer and the
and
facilitator.
he yeah.
But I don't think for a moment that he was like the head of this whole thing. Like, who
Yeah,
set him up? Who got him the money? Who did this and that and what? I mean, no, he's just yeah.
it's
I mean,
interesting, isn't it?
he didn't
I,
have the
yeah,
credentials for some of the jobs he had and this and that and whatever.
yeah, I
I
read
mean,
about that. I did some research on him a while
and I'm
back. He never had a college degree. He got a job on Wall Street. They found that out, and he convinced them to keep him anyway.
right.
So here he is in Wall Street and he quits. He goes and starts his own wealth management company. And he set the criteria that he wouldn't accept any client who had less than $1 billion in assets. Well, that's pretty brazen back then.
And then when
And
you
he
look
got
at,
one guy.
and
And
then
it's
when,
spun from there and off it went. He
yep.
was worth $500 million at one point. It's like, who is this schmuck?
And when you look at the background of what's her, is it Giselle, Jazane?
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Ghislaine
Yeah.
Maxwell, when you look at her background and in
Hmm.
turn her father's background,
Right. Right.
boy, that gets really interesting too. Because he had a publishing company that published well, he was Mossad. He was a Israeli CIA essentially.
Okay.
And he had a publishing company that published scientific journals and medical journals. But then in the early 80s or something like that, they bought McGraw-Hill, which is the book company that publishes, oh, I don't know, a shit ton of textbooks for all of
Yeah.
our schools. So
Right.
he's putting out the textbooks to all of our kids, teaching them God knows what. And then, he obviously passes away under whatever circumstances, but then she's in this position. I mean, come on, there's ties to all kinds of higher level, upper level shit.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why they'll never disclose everything.
Uh-huh.
Because if you pull that one thread, Nicholas, the whole garment is going to unravel.
Mm-hmm.
And if they literally just put everything out unredacted and spewed it out into the public, it would be everything from politicians to government to finance to everything globally, not just one
The
country,
medicine. Have you heard
globally.
about the
Oh, all
clone,
about the cancer, all the
the
cancer
the
research.
cancer research and the
Yeah,
the organ
yeah,
cloning and this and that and
yeah,
whatever?
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, some of this shit is just like science fiction, but it doesn't
Yeah.
surprise
So,
me.
so if you were to do that, how would the world ever recover? This is as big as aliens. Which, by the way, on that topic,
That
there was some politician in Missouri this week just got clearance from Trump to go visit Area 51, have
yeah.
full access to all files, whatever you want, you go see it, you go read it. And this one guy's got unbridled access to everything there has to do with UFOs and aliens. And apparently, and I love this shit, I never knew this. Apparently, there is a UFO someplace on this planet that's so big that they couldn't move it, so they just built a building, a structure around it. And it's not that he didn't disclose where it is, but that'll be his last place he visits. So I love
Well,
that.
there's
I love
something
that
under
story too.
Antarctica. I've heard that before,
Yeah,
but
right.
I
Here we
don't know
go off
what
of
the
this
hell.
on
But
this thing.
yeah, I was
But
saying
no,
now.
This whole Epstein thing is as big as an alien ship landing in the middle of, New York City.
Here's the thing.
This could be big.
I hate to say it. This is one I was talking to Trey Mack about this, and he brought
I
it up,
feel like
and
Trey Mac right now talking to you about all this
we
because he's
we
like this
he and I
guy's
have had lots of
Trey Mac is
conversations
he's
about
an
this.
onion of conspiracy. He just keeps people. I feel like
He's
him right now, but go
he's
ahead.
probably sitting back going like, "Why am I not on the show?" But like, yeah,
Yeah,
no,
he's trying to call in.
we've
No
had a
calls.
lot of conversations about this, but you know who should be sitting back saying, "I fucking told you so" about 80,000 times right now, and I hate the guy because I know he's obviously not right on some things because whatever, but like Alex Jones, that crazy son of a bitch over at InfoWars,
Yeah,
I flat out said the guy's a nut and whatever else.
yeah, yeah,
He was fucking right.
yeah,
Pizzagate.
yeah,
Pizzagate. That was one he got made fun of. Everybody got ridiculed bringing up Pizzagate. Oh, there's
yeah,
no conspiracy to order little children at a pizza and blah blah blah, and the Clintons involved and all this and everything.
yeah.
Well,
There is.
fuck me. There's emails where they're ordering pizzas and
Yeah,
calling into Epstein, and that's not even getting into the jerky and what the
right. The age
jerky. Yeah,
by the yeah, right. They had
and
it striated by ages and by
and
code words.
the
Yeah.
cannibalism and everything else. But yeah, I mean,
You see, that's the other six thing. Is we rented a movie a year or so ago, and it was, what is it? Careful what you ask for, or something like that is the name of it. And some chef, private chef, wanted to cook and wanted to work for it, and he got a job with the whole theme of the movie was he got a job with some millionaire, whoever it is, in South
yeah,
America somewhere, and once a year, twice a year, they would have a party, and he'd have to cook, and they were killing humans and serving humans.
good Lord.
Careful what you ask for. You got your
Yeah.
job, but now you're cooking people. And they made it into a movie, and you're going, well, shit, this is real.
I
These
mean,
people are eating,
I learned this.
Hollywood is in on this. That's
I
what's
learned.
amazing to me.
Oh, definitely, definitely. And okay, so don't think for a moment.
Here he goes, oh, I got one. All right.
No, I do. Don't think for a
Oh,
moment that Steven Spielberg's new
right.
film isn't somehow very convenient. Because I'm bringing up the name of it now. I can't remember it. Uh, Disclosure Day comes out on June 12th, 2026, and it's a sci-fi movie where basically the point of this movie the film focuses on a global revelation involving alien contact, with the trailer teasing a chaotic, large scale event where a foreign entity appears to possess humans, including a character played by Emily Blunt. Basically, this movie has a guy revealing to the world, oh, we've known about aliens, and this is all the evidence we have about aliens. And then the aliens come and start doing shit and whatever
Yeah.
else.
Right.
Hollywood's been prepping us for all this. They've been sprinkling it on to try and like get us used to these ideas. And now
there's
all
been
of a
little
sudden,
snippets. I've been
yeah,
seeing little snippets where people will make a little slight comments, and they'll be on talk shows and they'll just make some comment.
uh-huh.
Well, shit, that rings a lot differently today than that little passing comment, 2 years ago. So
Well,
yeah,
there was that one billionaire who during his one speech talked about if we knew who created Bitcoin, we would dump it immediately. The price would go to zero and blah 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 and all that. Well, now we come find out of these these documents that Epstein was one of the major major funders and pushing for Bitcoin.
yeah,
Bitcoin he was part of the group that basically like pushed
right,
and created Bitcoin.
right.
So there's that. It's so many little pieces are falling into place with this, and it's kind of cool, but at the same time, really, really creepy.
It's disturbing.
And it's just like it's unsettling because at that point you start realizing everything you thought you knew about everything is just not right.
Well, you know what you don't want is you don't want to have your conspiracy theory come true.
No, well, I
And
mean,
that's what's happening. These guys have built such a network and they are influential, all of them. And they're women too.
yeah,
But they're the ones that have built such a barrier around reality and the truth that we could never bust it. and they protected themselves because they were the people who were empowered to provide the protection. And what's happening is slowly it's starting to crack a little bit. And I have a buddy who once told me the last thing you ever want is for people to be left alone have to get
Yeah.
involved.
Yeah.
I want to be left alone. Don't make me get involved. And that's what's slowly going to happen here is this
I
going to leak
hope.
out to the public and the public's going to say, no, we're in on this now. You're
I hope.
ours.
I hope so. I
I do
want.
too.
I want mobs of people with torches and pitchforks
Yeah.
going to Washington and forcing shit to happen. And that's the problem that I'm sitting back seeing is like, okay, we're all getting all pissy, we're all getting all like hopped up right now, but like there's a high level of apathy in our society where it's like, okay, we're all fired up about this, but then a week from now, some celebrity is going to do something, and we're going to be talking all about that,
Well,
and
because you
whatever,
assume
and
everybody else is going to do it. I don't have to. Somebody else will do it. That's what that is.
yeah,
Sort of
and
like Savannah Guthrie saying, Mom will be fine.
hmm
I don't have to worry about my mother. She's old and she is on the ambulance. She'll be fine. I'll worry about some other day if something happens. Well, here you are.
well, I don't know. I don't want. I don't know. I don't want
See
it
how
to
I
go
tied that
away.
together? Yeah.
Yeah, that
No,
was good.
I don't think
That was
this,
good. I'll give you that. Yeah,
no,
yeah.
you're welcome.
No.
This can't go away because it's starting to crackle.
Well, and the media.
And for everybody to sit there and demand, I want all the names released. Well, you just can't do that because some are victims.
Yeah, you can't
And if
just.
you
Yeah,
release it all, you're going to see a crack through the middle of this earth, and this is going to be unrepairable. So you just got to you got to leak them out a little at a time. It's like how to eat an elephant a bite at a time, kind of a thing. And
yeah.
that's I think what this is it's going to be.
Well, and you have the media that isn't helping nearly
Right.
enough by covering this nearly enough. I mean, you see more from individuals combing through these
Right.
documents than you do the
People who are
media.
actually taking time to read the documents.
But let's be real. That's partially because at this point, if it comes to TV news, if you can't sum it up in anywhere between 30 and
Right.
30 seconds or 2 minutes or so, they're not going to bother with it because
Right.
they have their advertising breaks that they have to get
Yeah.
in and they have to get so many stories in a half an hour
And their
whatever.
advertisers may not want that story covered.
Hell, their ownership may not want that story covered. Then
I
you
went
have,
to the DOJ website. I looked at the doc. I've been there a handful of times now, and
yeah.
I pour through it. It's tedious at best, son. I mean, it's just a whole list of PDFs. And you don't know what's in
Mhm.
the damn PDF until you click it open, and it's like you could burn a week and only get through a few things. So it's time consuming at best.
Yeah.
But some of these things are just you read this and you're going, no way in hell did that happen. Somebody said, yeah, I agree. We need to have him killed. Make that arrangement. And they scratched out the name of the guy who sent that to Epstein.
Ugh.
So people are dead because of these, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, arrange to kill this guy. Shit. So where do you go?
I know.
But
I feel like we need one of those big boards on the wall with the different thing and the
yeah,
threads, the
spider
different
chart.
strings and all that. It's
Yeah,
like I'm feeling like that, like right here, and they get it,
yeah.
it's yeah, but no, it's
I think he
bizarre.
did kill him. After all this, I think he did kill himself because he knew that if he didn't, he was going to be put down anyway, and he was going to go through more hell to get to the point of death. It was just easier to off himself and be done with it.
You think? Because
Oh.
there was that one guard or whatever that they had his
Yeah, I know.
testimony,
They
and they were
let it
talking
happen. They
about,
turned their back. Yeah.
and yeah. So
Uh,
I don't know. I don't know. I
yeah.
don't-
So yeah. So there's that.
yeah, that's been a big rabbit hole I've gone down lately, and I swear. My Instagram knows it because I find myself I was
Oh, that's your fees.
my
You
yeah.
can reset your fees.
Oh yeah, I know. I know.
Yeah. Yeah. I do
But
that on a regular basis because I find myself getting the same fit over and over.
what's weird is it happens at certain times of night. So I've noticed that as I'm laying
Yeah.
in bed getting ready to go to sleep and I'm like, doing the quick scroll before bed,
All right.
around 11 o'clock, my feed will change. Because prior to that, I have goofy shit. I have people falling down, I have animals, all kinds of
All right.
wacky shit, right? But for some reason, around 11 o'clock, something transitions in my Instagram feed to where it goes to nothing but Epstein related shit and paranormal videos where it's like, oh, it's a security camera at a house, and all of a
See,
sudden
I'm
a
good with
shadow
those. I'll
goes
watch
running
those all
by.
the time. Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I can send you a bunch. I get them every
I
night. And all
I
it does
already
is
have a
scare
bunch.
the piss out of me before I go to sleep, And it's
That's
like, oh,
funny.
son of a bitch.
Oh, by the way,
So,
that
yeah.
radioactive area in Florissant is right off of Lindbergh Boulevard, north of 270, right
Okay.
in the heart, right there. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we were off of Outer Shell, like
Okay.
another exit west.
I don't know. I just saw
So I
that and I
know,
was
isn't that
like,
something though?
and I was like, boy, you used to have a house in Florissant.
Yeah,
Like, I
they
wonder
built
if
a
that.
neighborhood on top of a radioactive dump from the Manhattan Project.
Yeah.
What the hell? Wouldn't you think they would have, I don't know, identified that before they built these new?
Good old St.
I,
Louis,
I love it. I love
It's
it. I
like you
read
got
that. I'm going,
that.
that's funny.
I mean,
There's a lawsuit, huh?
I don't know if you've heard or paid attention the Coldwater Creek out there. There's all kinds of stuff.
I
Oh
haven't
yeah,
followed
there's
that.
all kinds of radioactive dumping and shit in that. And that doesn't even get into all the Pruitt-Igoe history in St.
Well,
Louis and
I
everything
was
else.
around during Pruitt-Igoe.
I would say, yeah, and
Yeah,
the
I was a kid when
spraying of
that.
the
Yeah,
chemicals from the on those
yeah,
people, and oh
that's
yeah,
right.
no, we St. Louis has a history.
That's funny. So have you watched any? You haven't even watched the Olympics.
I'm not an Olympics guy.
All right, neither
I
am I.
I
But here's
I
the
generally just find the Olympics,
here's my
both
quick
winter
take on
and
the
spring,
Olympics.
it's so boring. Yeah.
The Winter Olympics, in my opinion, are better than the Summer Olympics
Okay.
because the Winter Olympics are still kind of amateurs. Summer Olympics got ruined when they let the NBA guys in there and when they let the
Yeah.
professionals.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Olympics should not be professionals. If you've been paid to do something, you should be able to go in the Olympics should be amateur based.
I like
And
curling.
the U.S. got a medal in curling first time there. Some first woman to ever get a curling medal.
Sweet.
Um, but I don't mind, and I don't sit on and I'm like tied to the TV. But I was watching the luge today, and these people are zipping down, lying on their back feet first, doing 72 mile an hour.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's cool, right? But the controversy, and here we are again. It's like years ago when the Canadian ice skaters, the figure skater team was screwed out of the gold medal because the Russian judge was the one outlier who said no. And it was Jamie Salé and whoever. Anyway, it happened again the other day.
Luke would
The
know. He's
Ameri
probably
the,
neighbors.
yeah, right. Yeah, call. He can get Luke on the phone. He
Yeah.
knows all. He probably has it all
All
memorized.
Canadians know each other, right?
Oh yeah, hey, and he
Yeah.
would go off on the A and E with the guy. He is wrong. Um, but yeah, the American team who just absolutely nutted it lost because the French team won. Oh yeah, and the French judge gave them 8 points higher than any other judge gave them. Wait
Ah,
a minute. So
see,
yeah, that subjectivity of bull. It's like
subjective
eh,
scoring is bullshit. If you're
they
gonna
need
do
if you
this, it
can't
needs to be a
measure it.
defined, measurable thing.
I've said that for years
Yep.
myself. So if you can't measure, I don't know how you measure somebody twirling and spinning, but they got to do better
Well,
because it happened again.
maybe twirling and spinning shouldn't be an Olympic sport if you can't measure it like that. Maybe twirling and spinning can be cool and have its own thing, but maybe it shouldn't be in the Olympics.
Well, then it's just speed skating, and
Okay,
that's in there now. That's in there now.
that's fine.
Although we got that dude that does backflips. That's pretty cool. He's
There you
he's
go.
he's doing all right.
I still
But
contend that the Olympics would be a lot cooler if every one of these sports had the threat of live fire.
well, somebody actually said that the other night is they ought to give them guns. They ought to have polar bears on the ice with the skating.
Bouncing Betties, you got to evade the
Yeah,
bouncing Betty.
yeah. Yeah.
Maybe on the ice as they're doing the figure skating, there's landmines like underneath the ice or something, and it's like, whoa, don't hit that spot, that
Don't
kind of
hit
thing.
that. Yeah. Yeah, they need
Hey,
to sparkle it
curling,
up a little
the
bit.
little thing as it goes across. Oh shit, is it going to hit a mine? That kind of. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm telling you, the threat of live fire could really enhance the Olympics a lot.
The big story this year, though, was Lindsey Vonn.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad for her.
Yeah, I kind of do and don't.
Well, okay.
Yeah, she already had a bum leg, and I know her crash had nothing
Yeah,
to do with her bum leg. Yeah, it did. She explained it. It's like, look, you're not 110%, you're 100%.
yeah,
And she hurried up and she went out there with a broken ACL or whatever it was.
yeah,
You're 40 something years old. Somewhere there's this kid who didn't make the team because of her.
yeah.
And this kid could have been the hero. And her ego got in the way. And this is called Karma. She's lying in a hospital now with a big metal brace screwed into her legs, having to sleep on her back because she can't turn to her side because of karma.
Yeah.
It's like, give it up. Get the ego to the side. You've done well enough. You're a legend.
Well,
You
that's
know,
the thing.
you're a
She's done it,
well-known
but
person.
this
It's like,
isn't like
let
her
some
first
kid do it.
Olympics. Yeah.
No, that's the point.
Yeah.
So I saw her crash. I was watching live at the time and I saw her crash and I saw this big hand of karma come down and go, "Pook," just flicked her over. And it's like, there you go.
There you go.
It all works out at the end. It's like I said before, the secret of life is patience. Just give it all time. It'll work out. Karma will circle around and they'll get what they deserve.
Okay.
But anyway, so
Yeah.
yeah, the Olympics. I've been watching just enough to be able to keep up on the. I think we're like in third place in medals or something.
I had sent Trey Mac a link about the Olympics. I don't know if
Well,
it's how far back in our text chain it is for me to find. It might be too far back for me to do right this instant. Um, do oh yeah, that was the other news is that they said that Kurt Cobain was actually a homicide, not a
yeah, it was a
suicide.
homicide.
Yeah, it's like, oh,
That changes my
duh,
life.
you know. Oh, so Olympic women's luge star Sophia Kirkby has apparently called herself the most eligible bachelorette at the Winter Olympics and is admitting that she's looking for love at the games, including potentially with a fan. Um, and so I sent that link to Trey and I said, you
So
know,
he bought a ticket to
you
Italy.
need
Is
to
that?
get your ass to the Olympics, and it's like, yeah, he was amused, but yeah,
That's
so.
funny. That's a creepy thing to put out there.
I
That's
mean,
funny though.
right? So
Yeah.
I don't know, fucking weird.
So
Mm.
there's my current event update. Anything else?
No, I've been pretty, like I said, pretty. The Epstein rabbit hole has been a big one that I've been going down lately. So that that about sums it up. Um,
Yes.
I
No.
don't know. I gotta admit, so in the spirit of bipartisanship for a moment, I do wanna give a little credit to what are the two congressmen, Massey and uh is it Kuna or from California, the Democrat or whatever.
Ro Kahana or whatever it is. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. Anyway,
anyway, Rokana from California. The two of them went to the DOJ and looked through the files and I gotta give them credit. They straight up on the House what named the six guys that they that were redacted and shouldn't have been redacted it's kind of nice for a moment to see you know people of opposite parties that are at the very least in this one instance, working towards, I think, a common good, which is, naming off some of these dirt bags and degenerates. But I'll give them credit.
we'll agree to disagree on that one.
Broken clocks can be right twice a day every once in a while.
All right.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Well, let's move on and do. I don't know if you're going to hear this or not because everybody keeps telling me
That's
it's not coming through the Zoom. So we're going to do the Villiger report now. It's time for the Villiger Cigars Entertainment Report, brought to you by
Villiger.
Villiger Cigars, one of the leading cigar and cigarello manufacturers in the world, founded in 1888 and still family owned and operated. Head over to villigercigars.com and check the store locator to find a shop near you that carries them. We guarantee that Villiger Cigars will be a wonderful addition to your humidor and cigar rotation. I'm liking my cigar, but man, the band on this thing is just taking it's ripping and
I heard that. I heard that intro, by the way.
oh, did you?
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
good because
The Villiger cigar. Yeah.
the last couple people that I've done Zoom with, they didn't hear it, so I don't know how the. All right, well, fuck, I guess that
They
got.
did something wrong.
I guess I don't know.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
Ed
I
couldn't
heard it.
hear it. Brinker couldn't hear it. Trey Mac couldn't hear it.
There's been in
Yeah.
the past. I've been on a call with you that I couldn't hear, but this time I could.
Where?
I don't know what the difference is.
Mm, I don't either. That's so
Anyway.
weird. Anyway, well,
All
I
right.
got the band off. So, what have you been watching?
Villiger report.
Villiger.
Mhm. As you know, I'm not a big movie buff.
No, but you've been going more recently.
Having said that, I've been going more recently.
Yeah.
Imagine the chain of theaters, letter Imagine.
Mm-hmm.
They have a thing where you get the app and you join the club. You get $5 movies on Tuesdays
There you go.
and a free popcorn.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, I'm not a big popcorn person, but for free, I'll nibble on it.
I only eat
So
popcorn at the movie theater.
do it.
I only eat popcorn at the movie
Yeah,
theater. It's
yeah.
just
Well,
one of
you have
those.
one bite and you're picking your teeth for the rest of the movie.
Well, yeah, yeah.
That's
But
what I don't like. I like the flavor. I just don't like the
working at
thing.
the one in high school kind of ruined me. I
Oh,
don't know how.
I thought of that the other day. We got
Yeah,
popcorn and there was a kid back at the popper machine.
yeah.
And when he came to load it and dump it into the hopper up at the counter,
Oh God.
I think maybe about one third of it made it into the thing. This poor bastard spilled it all over the top of the counter, on the floor, and went
That's
everywhere. And he just stood there and looked at it. It was funny.
about right. Yeah.
It was good.
God, I used to
Um,
hate cleaning that thing. It was so hot and you burn
yeah,
yourself, and it was just I hated
he looked like
cleaning
he
that thing
was
so
trying not
bad.
to get hurt.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, we've been going to the theater. We went and saw Send Help this week.
Okay.
Um, and that ties into what would you take on the deserted island? We'll talk about that in a bit. But it was Rachel McAdams is in it. I'm not
Hmm.
that, I know she's an actress. I'm not familiar with her prior work. She's the only one I recognize in the movie.
Yeah.
Um, eh, Good film.
Okay.
Twisted ending. I didn't, it was one of those endings where you get there going, oh, no, it all makes sense. But until that point, you're going, didn't see that. So
Okay.
that was cute. We went and saw Sung Sung Blue.
Okay, that's the Neil Diamond cover band
Two
thing
thumbs
with
up.
okay,
As
okay.
somebody who's a big Neil Diamond fan who
The
regrets that I didn't see him live in concert,
the Jewish
you know,
Elvis.
there's a few performances, a few bands or performance I would have loved to have seen and screwed up and didn't.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen Queen when Freddie Mercury was still there. I would have liked to have seen the Eagles with Glenn Fry, but I just saw them a couple of years ago, so I missed the Glenn Fry era. Neil Diamond was one I always wanted to see. You know, he's like Elton John. We saw Elton John, and it was a worthwhile concert. You know,
Yeah.
like old people trying to look hip, but it was good. It was just a genuinely heartfelt good. The music was fun. He did a great job singing.
Hmm.
Um, what's her name? Who's up for an Academy Award? I thought she did a tremendous job, and
Oh,
she's a good singer. Kate
yeah.
Hudson, is that it? Yeah, Kate
Yeah, yeah,
Hudson.
yeah, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember.
Um,
Yeah.
no, I mean, shit, without a doubt, really enjoyed that movie. We saw Primate
Okay. Now
down
that
across the street. Yeah, down across the
yeah.
street to see that. Yeah, it's some guy out in Hawaii has a monkey that gets rabies, which is far-fetched because Hawaii is the only state that doesn't have rabies. Um, but he gets rabies and goes on a rampage and kills people. Kills like, guests at the house. And the whole time I'm watching that movie, I'm looking at this house where they're filming it going, my God, somebody actually lives there.
Yeah.
Breathtaking. I mean, it's perched up on the side of one of the hills out there over the ocean with the pool right at the edge, and the house is the highlight of that movie. The
Okay.
monkey was stupid.
Okay.
Um, but no, that's the movies. Next week we're going to go see that one you told me about. Um,
Oh,
Good
have
luck, have
fun.
fun,
Don't
don't
good luck.
die.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Good
yeah.
luck, have fun, don't die. We're going to go see that on Tuesday. That's a $5 deal, so
I
we'll
think
go
that
check
looks
that one
fun.
out.
And
I watched the trailer. You told me about it, and I
yeah.
pulled up the trailer. It looks entertaining.
So
I don't know who the actor is that plays the time traveler, but
Sam Rockwell.
okay, all right,
And I love Sam Rockwell.
yeah,
You saw Jojo Rabbit.
yes,
All right.
I
Remember
love Jojo Rabbit.
the commander guy that
Yeah,
like wore the elaborate costume at the very end?
him.
That's Sam Rockwell.
All
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
yeah,
He's funny as
yeah.
shit
That's one of my
when he
all-time
gets
favorite
the
movies,
ability.
thanks to
He
you,
yeah.
is Jojo Rabbit.
Isn't it such a good movie? So many people don't know about that movie, and it's
The
like
ending is cute.
yeah,
The ending is cute when they start dancing to that David Bowie song.
yeah.
That yeah, it's a good movie.
But it's got so
So
much to it. Like you
yeah,
think, oh, you're thinking it's like a comedy, and then like it gets really dark there for a little
yeah,
while, and it's like,
it's a dark humor kind of a thing.
uh-huh, uh-huh.
The whole Hitler thing and all that it's funny, but yeah,
Hmm.
it's a very sweet movie. I enjoyed Jojo Rabbit, but so
Yeah.
yeah, we've seen that. Other than that on television, news, Olympics, we watch Josh Gaze on Expedition X, and I can't figure out why every time they go ghost hunting, they're speaking English. I guess everybody who's ever died and became a ghost automatically speaks English,
Or
no
maybe they
matter,
speak the language of the people that they're speaking. Maybe it's like a universal translator
I,
situation when
I
they die.
something about ghosts. Ghosts
I don't know.
apparently all understand and speak and communicate in English.
I
I'm
don't know.
I'm befuddled by that, but I can't find anybody to explain it to me. But
Interesting.
yeah, anyway, so that's it's kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
Nothing's
Yeah.
been good on TV. We wrapped up a series we got out of New Zealand called The Brokenwood Mysteries.
Okay.
We binge watched all those seasons, and now we're sad because we're done with those. We just finished watching Shakespeare and Hathaway, which is a couple of private private investigators out of England. That's another cute series, and that's over. So now we're done with that. So now we're kind of wishing we had another good foreign TV show that we could get into.
Have you tried Bridgerton?
Yeah, you and I need to talk about that. No,
Hey,
no, and I never will. Thanks for
Sean watched
asking.
Bridgerton. We were talking,
Yeah, and I've
we,
met him, haven't I?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that didn't. No, that doesn't convince me, does it? So no, no, no. Sean lives in the UP too, doesn't he?
He does. He does.
Has
So
two
he
strikes.
already makes
Sean has one to go.
questionable life choices.
Yeah, yeah. Bridgerton falls into that no way in hell category. Falls into that idiom. I don't give a shit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, whatever. But so no, no, there is no Bridgerton in my future.
Okay,
And if
okay.
it comes onto the television, we'll leave the room. You have a reason to watch it. I have no reason to watch it. So
Uh,
anyway, so
okay,
that's my thing. So
okay. So you mentioned the desert island thing. What are your desert island entertainment
yeah,
choices?
it's a clever little twist you got
Well,
on your entertainment report.
I haven't. That's the problem is sometimes I don't have the time to watch a whole lot. And when I
Yeah,
do watch something, it's something that I've watched before. Like, you know, if I'm doing something, I might throw on just a random Star Trek or something like that, just to have
yeah,
noise in the background. And it's like,
right.
I can't just keep coming on and being like, well, I didn't watch anything, or or the weekends that I have Max, it's like, well, I watched Thomas and I
Storybots.
watched Storybots and blah blah
Right.
blah. It's like, how many times can I tell you how many, how what happens when you flush your potty? It's like,
Yeah,
although that is a good episode, you do learn a lot in that one, but it's neither here nor there.
I'll wait for the movie. So yeah, the deserted island, desert island. What do you want first? Book, album, movie?
Go
What?
for it. Go for it. I typically find myself going in the sequence of what is, how do I do, hang on. I have my notes here.
I'll do book
Uh
first.
movie book music is how I do, but you do
All
however.
right,
So,
I'll do book.
okay.
I have never been a fan of fiction.
Okay.
I can come up with enough stories in my head that I don't read. I don't need to read stories other people make up. There have been a few exceptions in my lifetime. Hunt for Red October. I can't
Yeah.
think of that guy's name off the top of my head. Jack
Clancy.
Ryan. Yeah, Tom
What?
Clancy.
Yeah.
Tom Clancy. Yeah. He's one of the very few exceptions, and even that kind of got long for me.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick, I'd probably take Malcolm Gladwell,
Okay.
The Tipping Point. Have you ever read that?
No.
All right. It kind of ties back to what I was, how we started this episode. Malcolm Gladwell, I don't remember the paper he wrote for it, but he's a columnist, or now he's an accomplished author. He's written about 5 or 6 books, but he takes everyday things and explains them how they tie together and cause things. It's like this plus this equals the reason that happened. It's kind of like I was talking about with Mama Guthrie. You leave
Yeah.
an 84-year-old woman alone in a house by herself, and she's non-ambulant, she's got medical issues, and nobody's there to help her and watch her. She gets kidnapped.
Yeah.
And all of those things that lead up. The tipping point is how does XYZ equal Y causing crime to occur? And it's educating, it's interesting. And I like those kind of things where you sit back and go, wouldn't have seen that, wouldn't have thought that that equals that would cause that. And the tipping
Yeah.
point is that thing. And the tipping point is when all these things build up and then that happens. That
Yeah.
tipping point of when something occurs. I've read that book probably 4 or 5 times, and it's back here on my shelf now still. So I would take something like that rather than just reading fiction,
Okay.
because I'm sitting on an island anyway, and you can't make that up. Um, movie was a toss up between, and your audience will hate this, either Animal House or Blazing Saddles.
I love them both. So yeah.
And the way I rate that is because I'm already sitting on a stupid island. I'm depressed. I don't need something that's just going to make me sad or piss me off. I want something where I'm just going to be able to have eye candy and watch and giggle. And every time I'm channel flipping and I come across one of the two of those, I don't care where it is in the middle of that movie,
Yeah.
I'll stop and I'll just watch and laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And I know one is so incredibly, politically incorrect. I don't care. It was made at a time by Mel Brooks where you're allowed to laugh at things.
Yeah.
It's a funny friggin' movie. Just the whole stereotypes and all the bullshit and Mongo punches the horse, and Animal House is just slapstick fun stuff. So
Yeah.
it was a toss up between those two.
Did you see that the filming has wrapped on Spaceballs too?
I did.
I
I
was
did.
happy to see that because I was worried that one of the, death watch options was going to happen
Oh,
before that could end. And
I want him to be alive when it premiered,
I
so he
agree.
can stand there
So
and people can clap for this man.
that'd be great. So, but no, I was very happy to see that wrapped.
Yeah,
By the
I
way,
saw that too. You're
I,
right.
I'm not happy about it, but I did get a point this week.
Oh shit.
I James
Which
Vanderbeek was
one?
on my
Oh
list. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Of course, again, that was kind of a I don't want to say it was a
That's a
toss up,
that was
but
a
it
toss up.
it,
That
it
was
was it was a it was low hanging fruit. So
Yeah, it
yeah.
was. Yeah,
But
it's kind of like that guy. What's his name? He's got ALS. He was on that. He was on that doctor show with. Um,
I don't
I
know.
think of his name now.
I don't
Young
know.
guy. It's sad. Well, he's not that
Yeah.
young, but
Yeah.
anyway. So yeah, it's just a matter of time. When you get those things,
Hmm.
yeah, you click the stopwatch and you just watch.
Yeah.
And as
But
far as
anyway,
music,
so
as far as an album,
yeah.
I'm going to go with Brain Salad Surgery.
I was saying I'm not familiar with brain salad
Welcome
surgery.
back, my friends, to the show that never ends.
Okay.
Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Okay.
Keith Emerson, Greg Lake, and Carl Palmer back around 1973, 74, something like that.
Okay.
Um, it's got Lucky Man, Jerusalem.
I was gonna say, I mean, I know some Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and like when you said that, I was like, well, I know
Yeah,
that, So like, okay, so it's one of
yeah,
those things I just didn't
it's
know the
one.
album that it was.
It's
Yeah,
back. The way it was recorded in channels and stereo, and they had a synthesizer and shit back in the early 70s. I would sit and play that album with my headphones,
yeah,
and the music would just go from this ear, and literally it would just go from ear to ear to ear.
yeah,
And that was the coolest, mind-blowing thing. And I've got it on my phone. I listen to it when I walk. And it's just one of those where there's enough songs in there, and you get everything from classical
yeah.
to sing along to, yeah, that would be my take. That if
Okay,
I had that one right now, I mean, I've got a handful of other albums I would pick too, but I would grab Brain Salad Surgery. And
okay,
right now, some of your
okay.
guys are going, I haven't listened in years, and they're going to try to look it up, and they'll go, damn, he's right. That would be a good one to have.
See, all right. See,
Yeah.
that's I like that. It's like we talk about that's the thing with this segment is that it's kind of like, well, what are you watching lately? But
Mhm.
sometimes, you got to recognize what's good, maybe not what's new, but what's good, you know?
Well, and it's kind of like I see I probably have, I don't know how many hundreds of songs on my phone.
Yeah.
And, as I walk, whether we've been going up and walking the community center, whatever it is, but every now and then I'll throw my earbuds in and just listen to songs. And, when I'm not listening to your podcast.
Oh,
Um, but it's kind of like, what do you have on your phone? What's your playlist? And that's what you're asking.
mm-hmm.
There's nothing today that I care about. Absolutely, absolutely, positively, no song has come out in the last 5 years that I give a shit about, really.
Yeah.
It's like the Super Bowl halftime show. Nah. There
Yeah.
hasn't been a good one since Jay-Z signed a $25 million contract with the NFL to take over production of halftime shows. And I'm not even a
Yeah.
Maroon 5 fan, but that was 2019. I didn't even watch the Super Bowl, and I refused to watch a Jay-Z halftime show because it's
Yeah.
music that I don't care about. Bring the Rolling Stones back. Prop those guys up, and let's see Keith Richards trying to stand upright and play his five string. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
so I have a tendency of going back to what I liked and not what's current.
Yeah.
I like the Killers. I think the Killers
Uh,
is a great band. Brandon Flowers is a lead singer. I think they're fine. Imagine Dragons are good. You don't see them,
See,
so
and they're in like so like you and I have talked about music before and how like it seems like, you know, as time marches on, we still recognize and love the stuff from like that 60s to like maybe I'd go so far as to say 90s, kind
most
of
people
kind
tend,
of
most people
frame.
migrate to their high school years.
Yeah, but like
Your preferred music is right around high school time.
but for whatever reason, like you go past like, you know, well, maybe into the aughts. You come to a point when it's like, what contemporary music is there that's going to stand the test of time? That's going to be in commercials 50 years from
None,
now and that kind of thing.
none.
And it's going to be all the same stuff that we're talking about right now.
Yep.
But the thing is, I really think that the internet has done a grave disservice or maybe service. I guess it depends on your perspective. To the ability for an artist to get their music out there because before you had the record labels, they had the radio stations, and they would play it, and a song could
Right.
become big. And now it seems like that happens to some little degree, but I guess what I'm very poorly trying to convey is I feel like there are a lot of acts out there that are probably really good that you and I'll never ever encounter
That's
because
right.
they just can't quite, and whatever. And they have their little audience, maybe locally, maybe online, and whatever, but the algorithm has prevented you and I from encountering them to where it's like we haven't searched the right thing, we haven't clicked the right thing, we haven't gone down whatever rabbit hole we needed to get down to meet that artist and to encounter their music.
Let me go another way. Um, People at a certain age break have a preference in music and they go back to it.
Hmm.
All right. Like I just did. Okay.
Yeah.
Like you do. People from that age break down have grown up and are exposed to what I call performers, not artists.
Yeah.
Britney Spears started this shit. All right. The Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, all that crap,
Oh,
the
I
boy
saw an
bands.
article talking about how Britney Spears was cloned in 2011, and that we're currently
There you go.
that the one that we know now is actually only 15 years old, and
Talk about a nut
that's why
job.
she's so fucking crazy. That was part of the Epstein thing too, apparently.
But here's what we've got now. We don't have bands anymore.
Mm,
The only people we have who sit and play an instrument and sing are what they call country,
yeah,
whatever. And even country music isn't what it used to be. Now it's more pop.
yeah,
It's that shit. And so there's this gap of age and preference. And from a certain age down, they like performers. They like to have somebody stand there like Sabrina Carpenter, and she just dances, and all of her little girls dance around her. And they don't really do music, they just perform. And then you have an age group up where you still have a preference of people who actually can pick up an instrument, sing and play it, and have a band, and have the drummer give them rhythm, and the bass player picks it up, and they play music. And those guys, unfortunately, the ones I like are now in their 70s and 80s. But there's the problem is nobody is a musician anymore. They're performers, and I don't like performers.
yeah,
That's the bottom line. It's like, I'm not that age group of what the current market is. So I'll always go back and defer to, you know, Dan Fogelberg and, Kenny Loggins and, I go back. So, and I'm okay with that. I don't care. I don't need to watch Bad Bunny or whoever anymore. I have no interest in that.
yeah.
So even Lady Gaga, I mean, I understand she was on the halftime show and she's being mocked. because she tried to have some sort of a Hispanic little dance thing going, and everybody's laughing and mocking her. So she failed, which I think's funny because she's turning
Yeah.
into Madonna
Yeah.
overnight. Lady Gaga is becoming Madonna like that,
Yeah. Yeah.
So give it up. But so yeah, I have a tendency of liking the music from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and I cut it off about there for the
There you
most
go.
part. 80% of it is done after that.
Okay. Well, all right then.
Yeah.
Um, all right. Well, I don't have it on
Anyway,
the board, so I'm going to play it off my phone, and then I'm going to splice it in for everybody, later after I've done the editing. So hopefully you can hear this. But it's Friday, so we're going to do a Pinky Fun Fact.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah. So I didn't I that was one thing
Good.
I did fail to load this on the board. So we'll do it this way.
Hey, it's your girl Pinky. Ready for a fun fact? Do you think your toddler is adorable as hell? Well, it might change your thinking to know that a toddler's adult teeth are right under their eyes. This has been Pinky, and I'll be back next time with more fun facts.
Okay. Right under their eyes. I mean, they got to be there somewhere.
They are. She's right. She's absolutely right. They're up in the part of the maxillary area. That's
Kind of
funny.
kind of weird.
Oh, she's creepy with those. I like them.
You just look
That's
at a
funny.
kid, you look at a little toddler, and you're like, "Oh, you're so cute," and you got eyes
Yeah.
right, teeth right under your eye.
You're like a little megalodon. I like that. Oh God, it's funny. Oh, here's one
Oh,
for you. And I
yeah.
actually have it written down. It's been estimated if you dried out all of the ants on the planet, it would total 20 million megatons of weight.
Yeah. The bugs, there's so many bugs.
That's a lot of
It's
ants.
a lot of ants. It's a lot of
That's
ants.
like Jesus. Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny.
Uh,
I like the
yeah.
teeth in them. That was clever on her part. That was good.
Well, I
Anyway,
am just about done with the Nick
look
and
at
Jim
you.
here. Yeah, no, this thing
Nice. How
it
was
it,
it?
it was all right. Near the flavor wise, it was fairly not one note, but there weren't giant transitions throughout. Not a lot of pepper, which was nice. So I'd say it was a solid like maybe mild plus on the strength scale. There. Um, I will say near the end here, kind of an odd little flavor note, just something that kind of you were talking and it just kind of hit my brain. I'm like, wow, that kind of tasted just like that pretzel, like a big warm chewy pretzel.
It kind of looked like a dark pretzel right there.
Yeah, it kind of had that like kind of doughy, some
Yeah,
salty kind of component to where it's that doughy pretzel, you know.
right, right,
Not like an Auntie Anne's where it's like soaked with butter and kind of sweet, but
right.
the kind that you get at like the fair, the
Yeah,
big chewy doughy pretzels, that kind
like
of thing.
the Oktoberfest.
Yeah,
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 right.
something like that.
Now,
But
are those available like a lot of places, or where do you get Jim and Nick?
like I said, this is an Island Gym thing, and I got it at one of his stores. So for all I know, the only places that you can get it would be the two Leaf and Bean locations in Pittsburgh
All right.
and St. Augustine. But um,
So
I
if
got it.
anybody comes to Pulpit Fest next year, they can swing through St. Augustine's and they can buy themselves one of those.
Not even next year. This year in October.
Well, that's right. It is
Yeah,
this year, isn't it?
it is.
Yeah, I'm losing my months. I'm losing time.
Trust me.
I'm
So
already looking at booking vacations for next. That's why that happened because I got a
yeah,
file back here for 2027 planning.
there you go.
So that's why I'm thinking next year.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah,
No,
this
but
year,
yeah, this year
October
coming up.
1st.
October October 1th.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Good.
yeah, I guess planning will be starting on that here sometime here soon. Although Ken already has the VIP dinner booked.
Yeah, I nutted that down at the La Piazza.
Yeah.
So good
So
on him.
so those people that bought VIP tickets, we at least have your dinner planned. So
Yep.
we
Yep.
got
And
that.
I'll be looking at flights tomorrow.
That's
So
right, because they go they open up here.
Southwest opens up for the end of the year, I think tomorrow.
Okay.
So I'll be checking that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, get
So
that placed.
it'll be
That was
fun.
just probably in about 2 months or so. We'll have our first planning meeting then.
Perfect. Sounds
Yeah, I
good.
would think sometime early April. We need to get started on some of that probably. I would
Yeah,
think maybe, but
I likely.
I don't know. It's your event. Why am I saying? It's up to
No,
you.
I mean
But
it's gonna be here before we know it, and time flies. That's for damn sure. I mean, shit, it's already mid-February. and it
Yeah.
doesn't feel like this year
Yeah.
barely started, you know? So I don't
There's
know.
truth to that. That's
Mm,
true. So
But
yeah, that's good.
yeah, so
All right.
nope, that's well fun. All right. Well, um I guess the last thing to touch base on would be where can people follow you if they wish on the socials. You're on the Instagram, I know.
It's the Instagram as opposed to just Instagram.
I like adding the
It's
just
it's
because
it's like the Walmart.
I
That's that
I,
Midwest thing.
I do that all the time. I like adding the. It just makes it official.
Yeah,
I don't know, but
that's official. Real
yeah,
official. Yeah, I'm on Instagram. I'm on the Instagram.
the Instagram.
Curmudgejim, Curmudgejim, Curmudgejim. And there's not much on there now. I think just for the shiggles of it, I put some paintings up. I got my watercolors out.
Yeah,
Some of my brushes are incredibly old and the hair started to fall out. So I just got a delivery today of a whole bunch of new watercolor brushes.
there you go.
So yeah, I'm doing it for my own enjoyment, but I thought I would torture a few people and post a couple of those. So nothing to photograph now other than just snow and crap. So I'm not doing any photography. So I'm going to
You
paint and draw a little bit and get some of that out there.
you
Like
have much
you, I
snow?
mean, I saw
Yeah.
your resolution. You were going to draw this year and write a book or something,
Well, I don't know about
and
writing
started
a book,
painting.
but
Well,
I
you said you were. You
I
actually
would
said that. And
like
you said I was
what
going to do a
that.
children's book, and I
Oh
sent
well,
you the one
yeah,
that I did.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's like look
Like
at this.
like how be
So
damned. Yeah,
yeah,
but
but yeah. So I've been doing some watercolors, trying to get back into that a little bit.
that's cool.
Other than
Um,
that, there's nothing being posted.
you how much snow do you even have left over there? I mean, we've got
Oh no,
the
it started. The
big
ground is
mounds
start.
of it, but like
Oh,
my
we got
lawn
like
is
three
clear.
feet. We got 3 feet piles out there where the plows put it there. But for the
Well,
most
yeah,
part,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
ground is starting to show. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
we have
no,
ground popping through.
I would say I've got my lawn is pretty clear, but
Yeah,
but aside
nails.
from that, like when you go to like the parking lots at Lowe's and things like that, the big
Right.
mounds of it are still there, but even
Yeah.
those are getting smaller now,
No,
thankfully.
This stuff will be gone probably in the next 4 days. It'll all Should be all pretty well.
Well, I thought we
Yeah,
were supposed to be getting some rain here over the course of this weekend, so where I'm hoping that between the temperatures and the rain, it kind of
it'll get rid of
clears a lot of it away.
it.
Um,
Yeah.
because I'm tired of seeing it. I don't want it. I didn't. It was depressing as shit coming back from Florida, and it's like I come back and it's like oh, here's 10 inches of fucking snow everywhere.
Yeah.
At least I
Yeah.
didn't have to do my driveway, but still.
Yeah. But still, yeah, I know. And then we're not done yet. And that's what's sad is this will all clear away, and we still have March,
Yeah,
and there'll be some more coming
there'll be
in.
one
It's
more
like, damn.
blast.
Yep. Yep. At least one, if not two. But yeah,
Although
we'll get through it.
last March is when we had that hellacious storm with the tornadoes and things like that. That's what ended up getting
Yep.
me a new roof. That storm,
Right.
the hail and everything that came with that. So
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
which I
I
would
look
take
forward to
more.
getting back to sitting outside and having cigars. I got an entire patio back there that I need to smoke up.
Well,
So
you got
and I have a bunch of cigars back on my shelf here that I need to burn up. So
you've got to get patio furniture though.
yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. You're right. You're right.
But that'll be fun. You'll get the patio furniture, then you can actually have a nice setup and everything.
Did you really say that'll be fun? Do you really think I'm going to enjoy shopping for
Well, I
patio
know
furniture?
you won't, but I mean, once you
No,
get
there
it,
you go.
it'll be fun. Once you have
I look
it,
forward to when it gets delivered.
yeah, I was gonna say, once you have it and you can enjoy it, then it'll be fun.
All right.
The
That'll
actual
be
shop,
fun.
look, the shopping process is not,
I don't go out.
that's
I
not
don't go
going to be fun.
shopping out. There's nothing I need.
You should at least go so you could sit in the chair and be like, have some semblance of veto power over the
Sit there and
chair.
swing around, swivel around, light a cigar
Yeah,
up in
just
the
just
furniture
be like,
floor.
see,
Yeah, yeah. No,
just
this
be
will
like,
work.
this will do. It's like if I'm going to sit there for an hour and a
Yeah,
half, I want to make
yeah,
sure it's
yeah. Let
comfortable.
me test this out. That would be funny. I would make the news with that.
I think
But
so, but.
anyway, all right.
Yeah.
And your socials?
I'm on Instagram at the Cigar Pulpit. I'm on Facebook where we have the Pulpit Parishioners group. Everyone can get in on the fun there by finding that. It's a private group, so just find it, request access, and I just let everybody in. But I got to do that just so that maybe Facebook thinks that there's some semblance of control. Um, then Twitter/X. You can watch this on Rumble and YouTube. Give the hotline a call for Ask the Pulpit at area code 863-874-0000 or call Tofu Pie 0000. That was I don't know, you may not have caught up on that one.
I haven't gotten to that episode yet.
Yeah, Dave Garofalo called in and he figured, he's like, he remembered the 4 zeros, but he's like, I never could remember the other numbers. But then he looked at the phone and determined that if you spell out tofu pie, with the letters on the thing, T-O,
like tofu,
like T-O-F-U pie.
Yeah.
It spelled out my hotline. So, call tofu pie 0000 and you can get the hotline.
That's clever. That guy is a marketing genius.
He said my pie episode inspired that,
That's
National
funny.
Pie Day.
That's
so
funny.
I'm like, all right.
I hope he comes again in October.
I know Ed Sullivan is going to be there. I have not. I don't know about Dave. Dave's still up in the air, but I know
I
Ed
would like for
Sullivan.
him to be back, and I look forward to meeting Renee. We need to make sure that nobody dies, so Renee can make it.
No shit, right?
Yeah, that's
and
important.
then the other thing is sign up to get your copy of the Cigar Chronicle in your email inbox by going to cigarpulpit.com. A little pop-up window comes up there. Just put in your email and you'll be added to the list. And that should be hitting, if all goes to plan, that the February edition should be hitting next week. So get in on the fun there. So
good.
Anyway,
right.
So yeah.
Excellent.
All kinds of fun stuff happening.
That's why people do stuff with you, because it's fun stuff.
Well, you got to distract yourself away from kidnappings and child pedophile rings and, things of that nature. We got to have some fun stuff going in the world.
Something to look forward to.
Exactly.
That's right.
So,
that's funny.
Anyway.
All right, Kimosabi.
Well, thanks for taking time out. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for the invite. We haven't talked. The other day, I think, was the first time.
I was going to say, it's been
close to a month.
Yeah, it's
at
been
least.
Crazy. Yeah. So, a little catch-up time.
Yeah,
it's good. So
good catch up with you. Thanks for listening.
Hey, thanks for coming on.
All righty. Bye, everybody.
And I really want to thank my dad for taking time out of his day to sit and chat and, catch up for a little bit. It's always nice. See, it's a good way. It's a good excuse, not that we need an excuse, but it's one of those things that sometimes, unfortunately, life gets a little busy and you don't catch up nearly as frequently as you'd like. And so it's like, let's do this. This will be fun. So anyway, well, guys, I appreciate the time. Final thoughts on the Nick and Jim. I really did enjoy it. It is a nice medium plus kind of cigar. Some good flavor to it. I did get that pretzel component near the end, and that was super nice. I enjoyed that a lot. And if you happen to find yourself by a Leaf and Bean location, either in Pittsburgh or St. Augustine, I would recommend giving the Nick and Jim a try. It's a good cigar. So, guys, this has been another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm Nick. Everybody, stay safe and stay smoky. Have a nice weekend, everybody.